the Brits have something called A levels, and basically what they tell their people, you know, indirectly,
Hmm.
that you can't be a doctor if you don't do a certain score on these A levels, and you're not tracked in a certain thing in high school.
Yeah.
You can't be a lawyer. You can't do this. You can't because you didn't score A levels and you didn't score this, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And this is the UK. These are our big brothers. This is why I say I think American education is the best in the world, because you could take some dumb kid from Baltimore who didn't go to the best high school in the world, right?
Yep. He used to argue with his teachers.
Used to argue with his teachers, right? Had all these challenges, scored. What did I score on the SAT? 900 on the SAT.
No.
Okay,
Look at you now.
right? Forget me. There's better examples than me. Ben Carson,
Yes. Yep.
right? You know, Ben Carson. There would have been no Ben Carson in the UK because
Interesting.
he didn't score the A levels. That's the beauty of America.
Yeah.
You could take somebody who screwed it up all throughout high school, and at 22 years old, 25 years old, 32 years old, say, you know what? I'm gonna swing. I'm gonna go up here and bat again
Yeah.
and knock it out the park. Hit a home run, grand slam, and you cannot do that in the UK. Let me tell you, I talked to a lot of British people, a lot of British colleagues.
Hmm.
If you don't score, if you don't do what you're supposed to do in that 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade year, and A levels, you're pretty much you tracked out.
Oh, that's such a shame too, because not only talking about with that, these are kids without life as much life experience, but the brain doesn't even stop forming until around 25. These are you're
I,
judging somebody.
man, I talked to because I had somebody explain, like, tell me about the high school experience.
Hmm.
And I said, no, this person can't be right. So then I asked another person, tell me about, and everybody consistently said, and I said, guys, you don't hear this? You're basically saying that you're tracking students, and if they don't do well, they can't reach a certain status in life, even if they didn't have it all together at 15.
Wow.
How is that? Then it made me realize that's what makes our country so great.
It's like
That you
we're
can
the
take the,
worst we're the worst country in the world except for all the others. It's like
but I'm serious. You could take someone who just dropped the ball
hmm.
in high school, and they can become a surgeon
Yep.
because the beauty of the United States is that ultimately three things to be successful in the United States. Ultimately,
Hmm.
regardless of who your daddy is, right? Regardless
Hmm.
of where you come from, you only need three things: self-determination, self-regulation, and self-advocacy. If you have those three things in the United States, you will be successful. I guarantee you, you might not be a millionaire,
Yeah.
but you will have a house. You won't go hungry. You'll be able to take a trip every now and then. You'll have your 2.3 kids. You'll have a wife. You will, if you have self determination, self regulation, and self advocacy, I guarantee you, his little side prize, you can get it in the United States. You can get it at 12. You can get it at 18.
Hmm.
You can get it at 22. You can get it at 37. You can get it at 45. You can get it at 65 years old.
Yeah.
I have seen drug addicts personally
Hmm.
that when I left Baltimore to go to VMI, they were heroin addicts, puffy hands, nodding out on the corners, breaking into people's cars, in the jail, out of the jail, probation, urine tested, you name it. And you come back and they got, you say, Mike.
It's
And he
actually
has,
Dr. Michael now. You know that? Yeah.
he might not be Dr. Michael,
Yeah.
right? But he has an AA degree
Hmm.
and he has a beautiful wife and he has this house that's pretty nice
Yeah.
with with the air conditioning, what is central air,
Yeah.
and he's driving a nice SUV, brand new, good credit score. His wife has a car. He's buying you a drink. Hey Ray, let me buy you a drink. What are you drinking? And
That's
he says,
crazy.
I don't drink.
And you're like,
I had enough fun. And you go, what? He said, yeah, I had enough fun. Right? And he's just well put together person at 45. And he said, well, Mike, how long you been clean? Man, I got clean 7 years ago. I've been clean 7 years now. I'm gonna tell you, that is a reality in the United States of America. In other countries, once you get on a list and people
hmm,
see you a certain way, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you this, I'm not waving the American flag here. I'm telling you the God's honest truth.
hmm,
I have a lot of Saudi friends. And I had one guy, older guy. He says he read MOE here, Ministry of Education here, right? He's big,
hmm.
high up in the Ministry of Education. And he said, Ray, I want to go to America to open up a restaurant. I said, you want to go to America? Open up a restaurant here. He said, I want to sell kapsa. You know, kapsa is the kind of like the dish, rice and chicken.
Hmm.
It's a big time dish in the Middle. And then open a kapsa restaurant in America. I said, well, why don't you open a kapsa restaurant here? He says, Ray, nobody would come here. I said, is your kapsa good? He said, I had the best kapsa in the world. I said, well, people would eat it here. People
Yeah.
eat other people's kapsa here. Why wouldn't they eat yours? He says, Ray, because people see me as the education guy. They will
Oh,
not come.
interesting.
They will not come, and they will say, "This is Ali. His kapsa cannot be delicious. He only knows education."
Wow. Because he's already
And
labeled. Yeah.
that's a reality. And it's not just here, it's all over the world. All over the world is this way, this mentality. We this is why I say we are powerful as teachers. Because and American teachers do more. We do more than just teach out of a textbook. The textbook. In fact, do you teach out of a textbook?
No, not at
No.
all.
It blows my mind. I go eight nuts. The first thing I do is when I go in to consult, you want to turn your school around? Okay, let's take all those textbooks, put them in wherever your resource room.
Storage. Yeah.
I don't want to see them. But Mr. Ray, we just spent da, 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 and that's
No,
the
you just
problem,
you wasted money.
right?
Yeah.
Because what are you do? You're not moving outside the box.
Hmm.
You you you're taking this book, right? That somebody in Manchester, uh, in the UK wrote, or some lady in Oklahoma wrote, who doesn't know anything about your people,
Hmm.
your students. They don't know anything, and you're relying on these pages to take your kids to the next level where they can become great. And you're not really intimately involved in that because you're turning pages, page 10, page 11,
Yep.
page 12, right?
Yep.
So we don't do that in the States. I know I didn't do it as a teacher, and I know a lot of my teachers didn't do it.
Mm-mm.
Right? We take the textbook, we kind of use it as a resource when
A
it's
guide,
good, when it
yeah.
works. But we kind of like, I'm kind of smarter than the book.
Yeah.
I know more than the book.
Well, and you know the kids too. Yeah,
And I know the
important.
kids, and I know what you need. And I know how to give you this in ways that will be beneficial to you. And I know how to stretch this out so it makes sense to you. That's not happening in most of the world. Most of the world is, this is the textbook. This is the textbook. To the point where you get parents who said, but you skipped chapter 5. Seriously.
Yeah.
Parents will call and say, Dr. Ray, the teacher skipped chapter 5. They skipped chapter 5. Yeah, I told them to skip chapter 5.
Yeah. We don't need.
But why? But why? Based on our plan for this course, our academic plan for chapter 5 is not necessary.
Yep.
For this is the book. And then if there's a mentality there, right? And that's why I feel like we have the best education system in the world, because ultimately, I think what we do is we do tell our kids, you can be anything you want to be.
You can be anything you resolve to be.
You can be whatever you resolve to be.
Catch full episodes of the Educators Podcast every Thursday at 4 p.m. Real educators with the real issues in education. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, take care of yourself. Genes passes to anyone who likes, shares, and comments on this video. Have a great week.